Hi everyone, happy summer. It's almost the end of May and our kids are going to start summer break in just 2 weeks. I don't know where you are, in what part of the world, but here in South Florida, we are already experiencing phenomenal hot weather, humidity, all of that good stuff. So that was my impetus for making this video about summer and how to make the summer work for you. So a lot of moms come to me, typically the moms who have not done a lot of coaching before or therapy. Maybe they tried 1, 2, 3 sessions and then they stopped. Maybe they did see a counselor a long time ago, but nothing long term or consistent or with an objective in mind or with a vision for transformation. So this video is for you, okay? What can I do this summer? And of course, for all the moms and all the parents. Summers are for slowing down. The problem in the US is that every single day, every single hour of a child's life is structured and planned for by the adults in the life of that child. So that adds a lot of chronic stress on both parents and the kids. And for summer breaks, a lot of the parents are spending a lot of money on big things, a big trip somewhere, or a big family reunion somewhere else. I don't know, starting a new sport all of a sudden. So parents have this false belief that if we do something extraordinary in the summer, something that is going to be a lifelong memory and the child will remember that for the rest of their lives, we did a good job as parents for that summer. And I am here to debunk that myth and to say that's not true. As a matter of fact, nothing changes in the family system when we don't do different things in a different way over a long period of time to build consistency and repetition and association with safety and safe attachment in the brain. No one big thing in the summer is going to change the family dynamic in your family. So coming back to summer, summer is a time for slowing down. Yes, even here in the US, we have to start befriending the idea of slowing down, no agenda. Not every day has to be scheduled to the last minute. It's okay for our kids in the summer to have free, unstructured, unplanned, spontaneous time. And within that mindset and that framework for the family, for our family, for the summer, this is the time that we can take for ourselves and reflect and find out what can I do at my own personal individual level to change something in the way my family system works. Because here's the thing, we know from family systems and family dynamics that if all members of the family system do the same thing all the time, they get the same results all the time. So if within the family system, let's say we have a mom, a dad, and a child, or maybe 2 children, and then maybe we have a grandmother, a grandfather, or all 4 coming in and out, but they're not always there. For the most part in the US, the nucleus is mom, dad, and the children. Now, if mom doesn't do any self-reflective work, if she's not taking the time to say to herself, I've been reacting in the same way to the same things, both to my kids and my partner, for the last, for the last 10, 12, 8 years, and I get the same results. I wonder, if I change the way I react, if I change the way I relate to my triggers, to my emotions, if I learn new tools, maybe to take a step back, maybe to look at the other person's reaction in a different way, with a different pair of glasses, different frames, right? Will I contribute to the change of the dynamic? So if the mom doesn't take the time to do that, if the dad doesn't take the time to do that self-reflective questioning, well, of course, the child or the children, they're not going to do the work of self-reflection. It's not their job, and it's also not in their capabilities, right? So the responsibility of the transformation for the better in our family system belongs and stays with the adult. Now, the second thing that most female clients, most mothers come to me and tell me, and this happened to me in the last 2 weeks, 3 times. They come to me and they say, well, but my husband doesn't want to change. I've been telling my husband to read all these parenting books and he doesn't want to, or he's dismissive, or he says he doesn't have time for this, or he says that his mom did a good job and look at me, I turned out to be okay. Whatever usually dads respond. Let's not generalize, not all dads are the same, but in general, dads, husbands, they're less curious about self-reflection and self-evaluation, right? But the wives and the moms, they go in and they keep pitching this to their partners, and a year goes by, 2 years, 3 years, sometimes 14 years go by, and this type of bickering happens all the time. And along the way, one of the partners gives up. Whoever has less tools in their toolkit, or whoever lacks confidence, that's the partner who's going to give up. And the more dominant partner is going to settle in, and it's going to be his or her way or the highway, right? And that's now the family dynamic. Either everybody has to walk on eggshells not to upset mom and dad, or everyone is pretending that everything is okay. Whatever the case is, we know that this type of family dynamics are very unhealthy. They model for our children that their emotions are not okay. They're an anomaly, and they should be suppressed, repressed, denied, but not owned and not looked and not sat with. And that child grows up to become a young adult, and then the whole cycle repeats itself. Please don't think that whatever your child is learning in your family, if it's not being looked at and reflected and corrected and repaired, even tentatively, do not think that that gets better just because a new generation is coming after us. That doesn't happen. So mental health issues, addictions, promiscuous behaviors, lying, stealing, all of these things that typically we start seeing in teenagers displaying, they do not come from nowhere, okay? They come from the family of origin, from the dynamics within the family of origin. And that's the responsibility of mom and dad. Now, you may be listening to me now and say, no matter what I do, I've been doing therapy, I've been doing counseling, I've been doing coaching, and nothing has convinced my partner to change. He or she, they're still doing the same thing even after 15, 20 years. What am I supposed to do? So depending, I don't know the answer, by the way, okay? It's a very complicated question, but depending on your personal situation and on your child's age, I'm here to tell you that one consistently responsive parent is enough to be the buffer for the child between the stressor, the source of stress, and their psychological safety. So my invitation to you today is, do you have the tools for you to become that one consistently responsive, safe parent? If you have the tools, keep doing it and seek guidance of any kind. If you don't have the tools, then please know one of the parents need a lot of good tools, because that child definitely needs at least one consistently responsive parent to act as a buffer between the source of chronic stress. Chronic stress means a perceived sense of unsafety in the family, and their own psychological safety that they can build through their own resilience and maturity. But they can't do that in the absence of one safe, secure attachment with one safe, secure adult. So that person has to be you. Now, let's come back to summer. We all love summer. Make this the summer of slowing down. That's my message today. Make this next 2 months the time in which you prioritize and you invest in answering this very important questions, and then you take action towards finding the right support that you need so you can become that one consistently responsive parent. So the questions that I want you to reflect on are, what is working well in my family system right now? Who is a member that I consider an active member in my family system? Is it just me, my partner, and my kids? Okay. Is it more than that? Who are these other people who are influencing the dynamic within our family unit? What works and what doesn't? What is the overall daily atmosphere in our home? How do our children relate to us when difficult things happen? How do they relate to us in everyday, ordinary, average types of interactions? Do they rotate around us as parents, or do they navigate around their peers? Where do they take their main guidance and orientation? Is it from me? Is it from my partner, the other parent, the co-parent, the grandparents, the teachers, the coaches, or they're taking their orientation completely or for the most part from their peers? Am I a part of my child's life? This is utterly important if your child is stepping into adolescence, right? If your child is 12, 13, 14, do they let you in their world? Because if they already shut the door to their world and you are a unwelcomed guest, even when you knock on the door and you say, hey, the food is ready, you should know that's a problem, because that is not normal behavior. There is some normalcy into a teenager rejecting what comes from a parent, but not allowing you at all to be part of their world, that it's not normal. So the last question is, what is the one small thing that I can do today to start seeking some sort of answers? You don't have to start by finding the North Star or the ultimate tool. There is no such thing, right? It's a combination of personal development and personal healing and parenting tools and connection tools and self-regulation on our part, and then co-regulation with our children, understanding the neuropsychology of yourself, of your kids, of your partner. That there's a lot of things that we have to learn over time. Couple relationship, parenting relationships, our own family of origin issues, right? How we were parented. There's a lot of work to be done. But what can I do this summer? What is one thing, if I can take on this summer, with the vision of changing for the better the way our family lives every single day, not only when we throw a big party or we take a big trip somewhere, but on a daily basis, what is the one thing that I can start doing today so I can bring in our family that sense of felt safety and connection? Well, thank you for listening to the end. I wish everyone a good summer. I'm sure I'll come back with more talks about summer and what can we do together or individually, wherever you are. But if you need help and if you want to connect with me, please reach out to me on Facebook, on Instagram, on email. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also give it a like, share with your friends, and don't forget to put your email on my email list. I send something every single Saturday. Look at the link below, and thank you for watching till the end. Bye.